Hey my friend, this is Darnell, Clarke, your industry leader in this career game. Hey, the answer man. Hey, today's topic is how to prep for an in-person interview in today's marketplace. But before I really get started, I have something special for you. I have a cheat sheet for interviewing. It's an interviewing cheat sheet. It's exactly what you need. It is perfect for anybody who really doesn't have a good sense of what an interview is, how you actually prep for it. I have a cheat sheet for it. You will love it. It is packed with information, but you have to stay to the end to get it. I promise you it is well worth it. So now, how do you actually prep for an in-person interview? You know, I have had an opportunity to be on stages, on conferences and workshops and seminars to thousands of people. I have also done one-on-one consulting, one-on-one contracting, one-on-one clients that I have, that I work with them one-on-one. And all the people that I have come across, thousands of people on stage or workshops and seminars, hundreds of people one-on-one consulting and coaching, I have recognized that about 95% of people don't really know how to prep for an interview. I ask people all the time, you know, are you ready for an interview? And they say, yes. Well, how much and how long have you prepped? Hey, I've only prepped for 15, 20 minutes, or I didn't prep at all, or I'm just gonna go and just talk off the cuff. Those type of people go to interviews and don't prep, does not do well, my friend. So I'm not sure if you know me. See, I'm different than most career coaches. Most career coaches come from HR or recruiter side of the fence, not me. I was the back-end hiring authority working for IBM, Ernst & Young, GE, Coca-Cola. I have a computer science degree and an MBA. I was the back-end hiring authority. These HR people will get with you. You have that discussion. You have to get through them before you get with me. But I was the back-end hiring authority. In my career, I have interviewed well over 300 people, and I have personally hired over 250 people to work directly for me. I know what a good interview is. I know what a bad one is. I know exactly what our hiring manager is looking for because I was one of them for all those many years. So now I'm going to tell you from the hiring manager perspective, what am I looking for? When I ask you certain questions, I'm going to give you the perspective of hiring authorities, not HR. See, if you can really think how an interview goes, an interview is really broken down in 4 stages. And if you can master those 4 stages, you will always be in a game for the interview. Those 4 stages is the stage number 1 is the introduction. Stage number 2 is the employer's questions. Stage number 3 is the candidate's questions. And stage number 4 is the closing. And if you can understand those 4 stages and see what is expected of you, you will be able to have a high probability and a high chance to be selected when you do an interview. So I'm going to break down the 4 stages and tell you exactly what it is, how do you prep for it, and what do you need to do to master each stage. Stage 1 is the introduction. The introduction is, this is not the decision part where this stage is not where the employer or the interviewer will make a decision to hire you. That's not that stage yet. But it is the stage, if you botch it, if you blow this introduction stage, this is the stage where they will decide not to hire you. It's not the stage where they will decide to hire you, but it is the stage where they decide not to hire you. As a hiring authority, I hire for 2 reasons and 2 reasons only. 1 for likability and 2 for fitness. I will have to like you somewhere in this process of the interview. I will have to start liking you to see if I'm going to hire you. I will never hire anybody I don't like. So that first introduction stage is all around introducing yourself. It is the stage where the interviewer will ask you that question that freaks everybody out. Tell me about yourself. Right? That's the question that everybody starts with, because we want to know a little bit about you. Now listen to me, my friend. When I ask you the question, tell me about yourself, I am not asking you where you from, what do you like to do, how many brothers and sisters you have. I'm not interested in all that. I'm not interested in hearing your 15-30 second elevator pitch. You know, the elevator pitch is a high level commercial of who you are. A 15, 20, 30 second high level general elevator pitch. No, when I ask you the question, tell me about yourself, I am looking for your value add proposition. So what the heck is a value add proposition? In a nutshell, your value add proposition is a clear statement that explains how you will solve a company's problem, how you will improve their situation. What do you deliver? What value and what strength do you deliver to that organization as it connects to the job announcement? And why should I hire you over someone else? It's specific. It is not general. Here is the crust of it. When I ask you the question, why should I hire you? I'm looking for who you are. What do you have? Your strengths, your benefits, as it connects to the actual job announcement. That's the key. The elevator pitch is general. It's a general introduction of yourself. The value add proposition is not general, it's specific of who you are, what do you bring to the table as it connects to the actual job announcement. That's the key. So if you have no idea how to craft your value add proposition when somebody asks you the question, tell me about yourself, go below in the description field. I have created one of my first YouTube videos of how to address and handle tell me about yourself question. The title is Tell me about yourself. It is not a rendition of your resume. So here's my tell me about yourself value add proposition. All right, Darnell, tell me about yourself. Hey, I am a lifelong learner. I take what I have learned in the past and I transition it to what I do now. I learn from my mistakes and my successes, and I make sure that I put it in play so I can always learn from everything I do. I'm a high say doer. I say what I do and I do what I say, and that will make me a great asset to you and your organization. I'm dependable, reliable, and accountable for getting things done. I love to get to work to get things done because I believe in results. It is results and execution that I love so much. Most people say I get things done faster than most. There's no substitution for speed. I call it speed to business results. I truly love getting things done on time and within budget. I am a leader and I believe in delegation authority, because that drives individual accountability, and at the bottom line, it grows people and make them be able to handle things at their level. And I'm truly excited about the opportunity that this position presents. You hear that? That's my value add proposition. Did you hear anything about my resume? Did you even hear the word resume? I ain't say anything about my resume. I didn't say anything about my accomplishments. I didn't say anything about where I worked at. When I ask you the question, tell me about yourself, I am not asking you for rendition of your resume, because the very next question I will ask you, all right, now take me through your resume. So that's stage one. Stage one, you must be able to address, tell me about yourself, why should I hire you, what's your differentiation, what's your strength and your weaknesses, and where you see yourself in 5 years, right? Those are the introduction questions. Remember, I hire for 2 reasons, likability and fitness. It's an 80-20 split. 20% of my questions is for likability, and then 80% of my questions for fitness. And then it transitioned from stage 1 to stage 2. Stage 2 is employers' questions. Yeah, that's when I ask the question, all right, now take me through your resume. Now, I need you to understand this, my friend. I need you to understand and know your resume code. When I ask you to take me through your resume, the worst thing I can honestly say that I see people do is that when I say, all right, take me through your resume, they open up their portfolio and they start reading their resume. I need you to script your resume. What the heck does that mean? Yeah, script your resume. I need you to be able to script it. You're like a person that's an actor or a actress. You know, so when they're in the movies or sitcoms or whatever, they tell you their lines, no different. I need you to script your resume. So how does it work? So when they say, all right, Darnell, take me through your resume, I say, while working for IBM from 2005 to 2017, I was the program manager director. My responsibility was that because people always want to hear numbers and percentages, I was responsible for 25 people and my budget was about $15 million. I was responsible for P&L to the organization, and I was driving roughly about $100 million to our services, from our products and services to our customers and our clients worldwide. Then my responsibility was XYZ ABC. Did you see that? And then when I finished with that, I say what my next position was with GE. I was working for GE from this time to this time for this position. My responsibility, that I have 45 people reporting up to me. I had a budget of $65 million. I was responsible for my P&L to the business, over $100 to $200 million to the business. And my responsibility was program project management. I built a PMO office. And when I get finished with that, I did this position. That's how you script it, right? Do not spend a lot of time on your resume. I want you to spend no more than 2 to 5 minutes maximum on your resume. See, your resume got you in the door. The resume got you in the door. Your resume was submitted for one reason, and that one reason to get a call back for the interview. Your resume worked. Your resume will not get you hired. The interview will get you hired. So don't spend a lot of time on your resume, my friend. 2 to 5 minutes, get through it as fast as you can. If they want more information, they'll ask you the question, but get through it by scripting your resume. Do not commit it to chance that you know what's on your resume. I freak people out, and then when I was in interviews, I would have my resume, it'll be in my portfolio, but I would never pull it out. They say, all right, Darnell, take me through your resume, and I just script it, and they'll be looking at the resume while I'm talking. I hit all the numbers, and it's exactly what they need. So stage 2 starts where the question is, take me through your resume. Now, most interviewers have a standard set questions that they want to ask. Remember, the second part of me hire is fitness. I am trying to ascertain that you can do the job because you have done it already. In today's marketplace, we don't hire people to train. I know the millennials are having issues with that for sure, but I don't have a budget to train, so we don't train. What we want to do is hire you, hit the ground running, learn it on the job. So on the job training and hitting the ground running. When you hear that, that means we are not training you whatsoever. And the only way you can hit the ground running because you have done it before. So most employers or most interviews have standard interview questions. They're trying to attach that whatever you have done before, you have done it again. Now, in this second stage, there's a 2-part interviewing process. It's your traditional interview questions and behavior interview questions. The majority of the marketplace now is going to behavior interview questions. If you don't know what behavior interview questions is all about, I crafted a 4-part series of how to handle behavior interview questions. Go below in the description field and you'll see a 4-stage process of handling. How do you handle behavior interview questions? And the way you handle behavior interview questions is all about behavior interview questions is a predictor. It's a predictor of what you did in the past, is a predictor of what you can do in the present. An interviewer does not want to know what you think you can do. The interviewer wants to know what you actually have done and prove it. And the way you do it by using the behavior interview is using the STAR method. STAR. S for situation, T for task, A for action, R for results, and throw one more in there, lessons learned. So when they ask you a question, and you will always know a behavior interview question when they started out like this. Tell me about a time when you did XYZ. Show me a time when you did this. How did you did this? How did you handle that? So one interview question is, Tell me about a time when you had a conflict with a coworker at work. How did you handle it? You would have to use the STAR method. S, you must tell the situation in its entirety. In its entirety. Can't even say the word out, right? You must tell the situation. T for task. You must tell the task that you had to do. A for action. What action that you had to do to handle that task? And R for results. What results came from your actions and what lessons did you learn from that whole thing? A normal traditional interview question, if you're talking longer than 35, 45 seconds, you're talking too long. But a behavior interview answer could be anywhere from a minute to 2 minutes to 3 minutes. The more detailed you are, the better it is for a behavior interview question. Down below, go find out how to do it because they will ask you the question, you know, those behavior interview questions, and if you cannot handle it, it will destroy that part. This stage is the stage that the interviewer will decide if you are the person that they want to hire. The first stage gives them the ability to who you are. Now I'm starting to like you. The second stage, which is the second part, is fitness. I am now trying to ascertain that you can do the job because you showed me how to do it. That's the fitness part. Listen, there is a big difference between traditional interview questions and the behavior interview questions. Every time you open your mouth to answer any question, you must connect what you have done in the past to what the job announcement is. So I ask you the question, my friend, when you see a job announcement that you like, how long and how often do you read it? I need you now to understand it is the job announcement that connects to your resume, that connects to what you do, what you have done that will get you the job. You spend at least 25 to 30 to an hour on that job description. When I look at a job description, I spend roughly about 2 or 3 hours. I get my markers, I get my pens, I carve it out. I try to find what the requirements are, and I try to get those requirements as it connects to something in my resume, my accomplishments, the things that I have done in my resume, so I can connect the dots. You must connect the dots. As a hiring manager, we are looking for somebody that can get the job done. You, my friend, must be in a solving problem business. You must be able to solve businesses, solve problems. I'm hiring you not just because I want to hire you. I'm hiring you because I got some problem that needs to be get done. And you, my friend, in the interview on stage 2, the employee's questions, you must connect what you have done in the past to the actual job announcement so I can see you have done it already. I can't tell you how many millennials have issues with that because they want training, they want mentorship, and in the marketplace we just don't do that right now. I'm sorry, millennials, but we just don't do that right now. So you would have to understand that whatever you have done in the past is a predictor of what you can do in the future. That is stage 2, employers' questions. You must be able to connect what you have done in the past to the actual job announcement. I need you to spend at least an hour on that job announcement so you can connect the dots. So you can see the job announcement and you can see how it connects to the actual job announcement. Your resume connects it. You must connect the dots. Stage 3. Towards the end of all of the interview, the interviewer will always say, all right, Darnell, I have everything I need, right? I have everything I need. And so now, do you have any questions for me? And I can't tell you how many times I have interviewed people. Remember, I have interviewed over 300 people. I can't tell you how many times an interviewer will come in. I said, do you have any questions for me? And they say no. Listen, my friend, at this stage, the interviewer is trying to ascertain to determine how much interest do you have for this position. See, if you really wanted that position, you would spend some time and craft some interview questions. So when they say, do you have some interview questions for me? I want you to say yes, and I want you to pick your portfolio up just like this. I want you to open it. I want you to pull your questions out that looks just like this, right? Here are my interview questions. I want you to make sure the text is large enough so they can see that you have crafted out. I want you to put it back on your portfolio. I want you to take your ink pen and I want you to now read that first question. And the first question is, what kind of person are you looking to fill this position, and what is your ideal candidate looks like? Get ready, my friend. Get ready to write down, because the interviewer is getting ready to tell you exactly what they are looking for. They might have said it sometime in the interview, they might not, but now they're getting ready to tell you exactly what they are looking for. You write it down, because this is the beginning of your close. Right? And so always be able to ask. That is the first question you ask. And then some of the other questions you could ask is on here. And then this last question, the second from last question, I want you to always ask this question. This question says, now that you had a chance to meet and interview me, what reservations would you have for putting me in this position? Yeah, my friend, you put them on the spot. Yes, you have put them on the spot. Hey, I need you to conquer your fear. Don't worry about the, question number one, if they say, yeah, well, we're looking for X, Y, Z, A, B, C. And then you hear, hey, that's me. I have either done that before, it is part of my strength package. Never go to an interview when you know the position is in your weakness package. You only go to interviews that you know is part of your strengths. That's why you need to know what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. Never, ever, ever, ever go to an interview when you know it's not part of your strength package. Never go to an interview when you know it's part of your weaknesses. No, 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 no. You can never perform at a high level doing things that you're not good at because it's part of your weaknesses. No, don't do that. So, that first question is, hey, we're looking for this, we're looking for that. Hey, then you got to hear it. That's part of me. That's part of my strength package. I have done that before. When you hear that, that question lets you know, lets you think that you are a good fit. You are a good fit for the position. That question before the last question is that, hey, since you had a chance to meet and interview me, what reservation do you have and put me in this position? Yeah, you put them on the spot. Listen to that. Because if the interview starts talking the negative, well, you don't have this, you don't have that, you don't have this, hey, you are not in the game. Wrap that interview up as fast as you can and get the heck out of there, because you are not going to get that job. But if they say, well, Darnell, I don't have any reservations. We were looking for X, Y, Z. You had that when you described it pretty good. We are still interviewing, but I don't have no reservations. Now you know that they think you are a good fit. Remember the first question, if it's positive, it lets you know that you are a good fit. Now that second question lets you know they think you are a good fit. And if it's a good fit, and if it's the position that you would love to do, then transition into the fourth stage, which is closing. You ask this last question of what's the next step? What's the next step in the timeline? They'll tell you the next step. And then if you like it, it's a good fit, then I want you to transition into the closing by asking for the job. Yes, my friend, you ask for the job. You have not because you ask not. Well, shoot, man, how do I ask for the job? You do this. So you ask for the next step. So you say, all right, Mr. Clarke, I got the next step. I appreciate the opportunity of this interview, right? I think I did a great job. I wait patiently for the next steps because you say in the next couple of weeks, you'll have an answer. So now let me leave you with this. In closing, this is your close. Let me leave you with this. Yeah, I am very interested what I have learned here today and the opportunity that this position presents. right? I believe I would love working here and learning from you as well. Is there anything else you need to know about my background to determine that I go to the next step in the interview process? Because I want this job. That's right. You just asked for the job. Some people are like, I can't ask for the job, man. I'm scared. Listen, I need you to conquer your fear. I need you to feel the fear and do it anyway. Conquer your fear. Conquer your fear. And if you conquer your fear, you'll be the captain of your ship and the master of your destiny. Conquer your fear and ask that question and ask for the job. You ask for the job. Listen. If you don't hear me, listen now. I have interviewed over 300 people, and only one person out of all those people ever asked for the job. And he's the only one I hired on the spot. Those other over 250 people I hired, I still took them through the whole process and made them an offer. But he's the only one I interviewed and he asked for the job. He's the only one I hired on the spot. I can't tell you how many times I have used that since he did it to me. He did it to me early in my career. I'm like, wow, that was so cool. I start doing it myself. Now, I told you on one side of the fence, I was a hiring authority, working for IBM and Ernst & Young and GE and Coca-Cola, hiring people. But early in my career, I got my computer science degree and an MBA and all these IT certifications, and I became a perpetual job hopper. I know that right now the marketplace doesn't mind that you job hop. We have become a nation of job hoppers. From the Bureau of Labor Statistics says, for the first time in our nation's history, more people have quit their jobs than got laid off. The average life cycle of a job is only 5 years. Every 3 to 5 years, my friend, we're gonna be looking for a job. But we are a nation of job hoppers. I don't call them job hoppers. I call us free agents. We are a free agent nation, unbound and untethered to one organization, taking our talents to the whole marketplace instead of one boss and one company. That's what we do now, right? But I was doing it before all this was cool. I was going from job to job every 24 months, every 18 to 24 months. I was job hopping because I was trying to go get that cash. And every time an opportunity came up to get more money, I left one company and went to another. While I was in a job search mode, on the other side of the fence, I submitted over 5,000 resumes. Well, Darnell, how you know you submitted 5,000 resumes? Because I keep track of everything. I know who I submitted it to, when I submitted it to, what information I got from it, what company I submitted it to. I know everything. From those 5,000 resumes, I have had over 200 interviews. Yeah, who does that, me? Every interview possibility that you know that it had a Skype interview, an in-person interview, a phone interview, interview with HR, interview as a group, interview as a panel. I have interviewed all of it and mastered all of them. And early in my career, I recognized the ability to ask for the job. I can't tell you how many times I've used that and it worked for me. You know, as a director, senior director over the past 10, 15 years in the marketplace, I was always interviewing. When I go to an interview, the person who was interviewing me was either general managers, vice presidents, CIOs, COOs, or CEOs in a medium or small medium company. They were big baller shot callers, and I have used it each and every time. Excuse me. I can't tell you how many people stopped and said, "Wow, Darnell, you just asked me for the job. Outstanding, young man." I remember a vice president, she was so impressed that I asked her for a job, she hired me on the spot. Yes, 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 sir. So I always use it. Now, when you ask somebody for the job, one or two things are gonna happen. Either they're gonna be like, "Wow, I'm so impressed that you asked for the job," or you're gonna have somebody like, "Man, this dude just asked me for the job. How dare he have enough kahunas and courage to ask for the job? No, I'm not giving him for a job." When you come across those people who are put off because you asked for the job, listen, you don't want to work for those type of people anyway. They're scared that you have enough courage and fortitude to ask for what you want, and they're scared to hire you because they think you're going to take their job. You got the right, I'm going to take your job if you think that I'm gonna be scared to not ask for the job and you're not gonna give it to me because you got scared that I had enough fortitude and confidence to ask for it, you better believe I'm gonna take your position, old buster. Hey, but don't worry about it. So you ask for the job, and then I want you to give them your personal guarantee. Listen, my friend, I can't tell you how many people are scared to put themselves on the line. You give me your personal guarantee and you say, after you say, I want this job, listen, Mr. Clarke, if you hire me, I give you my personal guarantee that if you select me, you will not be sorry or disappointed you hired me. So when you go in the back and you start talking to your team and you decide who is the best person for this job, think of me, Mr. Clarke. When you go in your team and say, who can hit the ground running because they've done it before and they don't need little to no supervision, think of me, Mr. Clarke. Hire me, Mr. Clarke, because I want this job. That's right. And you shut up and let them talk. Listen, my friend, that is your differentiation. That right there will put you over the top with anybody else. I'm telling you right here, right now, my friend, nobody's doing this. No one is going to be asking for the job because they're so freaking scared, but not you. You raise up your courage and boldness and you come before them, you ask for the job. I want that job. If you hire me, Mr. Clarke, I guarantee you won't be sorry or unhappy that you hired me. I promise you. So there you go, my friend. So let me recap. There's 4 stages of the interview. The first stage is introduction. This is where you must be able to answer the question, tell me about yourself. Stage 2 is the employer's questions. The employer's questions will give you traditional interview questions and behavior interview questions. You must be able to handle both of them. Stage 3 is the candidate's question. You always come with questions and you always ask the question what they're looking for and you capture it. You always ask the question, now you had a chance to interview me, what reservation will you have to put me in this position? You always ask that question. And then the final question, you always ask for next steps. And then you transition right into the closing by asking for the job, which is stage 4, my friend. So there you go. I told you in the beginning, I have something special for you. I have an interview cheat sheet. The interviewing cheat sheet is everything I talked about here, plus much, much more. It tells you how you're supposed to dress in today's marketplace. Before back in the day, it was always suit and tie. Not anymore, my friend. You must understand the culture of the organization will tell you how you dress for an interview. It tells you about how to address and handle the question to tell me about yourself. It talks about the ability to handle behavior interview questions. It gives you the top 20 most common asked questions in an interview, and it gives you the answers too. It gives you everything, right? It also gives you the ability to understand that your salary. It tells you how to find your salary. Never, ever, ever go to an interview and you don't know what the salary is for this position. Down below, my friend, I made a video of how to address salary questions. It's down there too. Now, lastly, I can't tell you how many people that I know go to an interview, it doesn't go well, and it crushes them. Listen, my friend, you are not responsible to go to the interview to make somebody like you. You don't know what they're gonna do. You don't know why they're gonna hire you, why they're not. You are not responsible to find out if they like you or not. You are not responsible if they give you the job offer or not. Your responsibility is, my friend, is to come to the interview and deliver the package. What the heck is the package? Everything I taught you, how to prep and prepare for an interview, that's the package. Your responsibility is to prep and practice everything I showed you here. Come to the interview and deliver what you practice. That's it. You're not responsible for if they like you. You're not responsible for if they made you an offer. That's not what you are supposed to do. Your responsibility is to get to the interview, deliver the package. If you get the offer, great. If you don't, so what? It's not your responsibility. Listen, No man can open a door to any door God closes. And no man can close any door God opens. If that position is for you, it's for you, and there's nothing they can do about it. It will be for you, my friend. So if you don't get it, learn from it, go to another interview and keep learning, and you keep doing it until you get hired, my friend. So there you go, my friend. So if you like this video, click on the like button. I truly love when you click on the like button. And share with 4 or 5 friends. I need you to share this with 5 friends. This is how I get my content out. I do it, the way I get my content out is when you share it with 5 friends. So I'm asking you to share with all 5 friends and more, but minimum 5 friends. And in the comment field, give me your comments or your feedback or any questions you have, because I'm Darnell Clarke, the answer man. There's no question that you could ask me that I will not have an answer for. And I answer every comment, every feedback, and every question down there. I personally answer it. And as always, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe on my channel. On the side is that bell. Click on that bell, my friend, so you can be notified every time I come out with fresh new content. So there you go, my friend. This is how you prep for an in-person interview. You spend hours. So if the interview is 4 or 5 days out, I want you to spend 1 hour a day prepping. It will serve you well when you get into that interview. So this is Darnell Clarke, your industry leader, your career coach, saying, hey, there's one thing I recognize for sure, that is, whatever you want in life, you gotta go get it. Now go get that interview, because I showed you how to do it. I'll see you later.